Hi friends, this is APBA Brian. I'd like to have a talk with you about a question that was asked on the comments section of my game yesterday. The question was, where do I get the chart for the basic base stealing that I use? And I did not get it from APBA. I got it from the internet. I Googled APBA charts several years ago. I don't know if it's still available, but someone had a home device chart that I use. Normally in basic APBA, when you roll an 11, it's a basic single, it's a base hit single and a steal of second base, automatic, or 14 with an asterisk. It's based on balls, and second base is stolen. Or sometimes some of the 10 results with runners on give a stolen base. I don't want to do it for free. I want to give the catcher a chance, because defensive catchers do have an effect on games. Watching Salvi Perez of the Royals, Yadier Molina for the Cardinals for many years, they can hold down running games. So I found a chart on the internet, and I'll show that to you, that takes catchers rated 9 defensive catchers through 5 rated defensive catchers. But you could extend that. There are some 10 rated defensive catchers. And here's the chart that I use. And it's pretty straightforward. A catcher 9 throws out a runner on rolls 11 through 26. 27 through 66, the base runner steals safely. And a roll of 66, he gets an extra base on there. And you can see the other ratings. That's the chart that I use for basic stealing. Another way you could go is as follows. You could use the master way of stealing bases and the Paul Marino boards. I don't have the master boards, but I have the Paul Marino boards. And you could go to Steve's card generator on the internet. It's copyduck.com, I think. But just Google Steve's APBA card generator, and it'll get you there. And if you've got a basic team that's got, say, 4 or 5 fast rated runners, look up their stealing ratings and use those. So that's another way you could use stealing in the basic game without having to use the master game. Okay, but you have to do that with the Marino charts. Now, for this week's APBA Classic Baseball channel, here's the games we're going to do. We're going to take each organization that is in the 2019 playoffs. The Cardinals, the Astros, Dodgers, Twins, Yankees, Rays, probably Braves, and we'll take each of those organizations, and I randomly drew a APBA Classic team from those organizations, and they're going to play a one and done tournament. And the organizations, for example, the Dodgers could include the Brooklyn Dodgers. Braves, when the drawing, could include the Boston Braves or Milwaukee Braves, Atlanta Braves. So we drew one of those teams from each organization, and this is what we came up with. We have the 95 Atlanta Braves hosting the St. Louis Cardinals of 1967. That'll be the first game. You have the 2012 Washington Nationals. They're going to play the 1953 Brooklyn Dodgers. And these pegs are backwards on there, but we got the 1955 Yankees will be taking on the 1969 Minnesota Twins. And we have the 2017 Houston Astros. They're playing the 08 Tampa Bay Rays. We'll lead off today with the 67 Cardinals and the 1995 Atlanta Braves. Hope you enjoy this tournament. Hope you enjoy the game. We're ready to begin the game. Thanks for joining me. Let's meet the stars that we'll be following in today's game. First, for the St. Louis Cardinals, Nelson Briles. Curt Flood, who ushered in free agency and every Major League player today, when they cash their check, they should say thank you to Curt Flood. Orlando Cepeda, the 1967 MVP of the National League. Steve Carlton, Hall of Famers. Tim McCarver, broadcaster now. And today's pitcher, Bob Gibson. For the Atlanta Braves, Hall of Famer Chipper Jones. Ryan Klesko, Hall of Famer Tom Glavine. Crime Dog, Fred McGriff. Hall of Famer and broadcaster today, John Smoltz. And today's pitcher, Greg Maddux. We'll be using the number one pitchers in each team's rotation for the first round of this one-and-done tournament. Second round, we'll use number two pitcher, and then the third pitcher. Here's the starting lineups. Lou Brock will lead off and play left field for the St. Louis Cardinals. Curt Flood in center field. Orlando Cepeda will bat third and play first base. Tim McCarver will hit cleanup and catch. Julian Javier, the second baseman. Roger Maris in right field. Mike Shannon will be the third baseman. And we got Del Maxwell, the shortstop. And then Bob Gibson is a grade B pitcher with X modifier. Greg Maddux will be pitching for the Braves. He's an AC pitcher, XZZ, batting ninth. Leading off will be Marquise Grissom. He'll be playing center field. Jeff Blauser is at shortstop. Chip Jones is at third. Fred McGriff will hit fourth, play first base. David Justice will be in right field. Ryan Klesko in left field. Javi Lopez is the catcher. Mark Lemke is the second baseman. And we're ready to start the rolling. Here's the first batter for St. Louis. Came over in a tray for Ernie Broglio with the Chicago Cubs. Lou Brock. 23 is the roll. That's going to be a soft ground ball back to Maddux. Brock is retired 1-3. Curt Flood, who did not want to be traded to the Philadelphia Phillies in 1970. 61, 12, ground ball to third base, caught by Chipper Jones over to McGriff, and he is the second out. Here is Orlando Baby Bull Cepeda, or Cha-Cha Cepeda. 45 is a walk. And he is the first base runner. He'll be at average speed. Tim McCarver. 46 is a ground ball back to the pitcher. There is a Y modifier, but he's an X modifier, so it's 1-3. And the Cardinals are out in the first. We go to the bottom of the first, there is no score. Here, pitcher Bob Gibson completes his warm-up tosses. He is the meanest, nastiest pitcher in the National League, according to his catcher, Tim McCarver. Not afraid to throw at batters and brush them back. Here is Marquise Grissom leading off for the Braves. 52 is a ground ball to Mike Shannon at third base. Throw over the first is the first out. Now Jeff Blauser for the Braves. 35 is the roll. 42 is hit by a pitch. So right away, Gibson is establishing who owns the strike zone. Hits Jeff Blauser. Blauser is a average runner, rated runner. Chipper Jones, the third baseman, comes to bat. Here's the pitch to Chipper Jones. 1-3 is base on balls. Braves have a threat going for Fred McGriff. Fred McGriff was a .280 hitter in 1995, 27 home runs. Here's the pitch to McGriff. 31 is going to be on 9 against the grade B pitcher. That's going to be an infield hit, and the Braves will have the bases loaded. For David Justice, it seemed to be whatever team he ended up on. He ended up playing for a division winner. So a lot of successful teams. Right here, he's got the bases loaded. Can he put a quarter in the merry-go-round? Here's the pitch. 55. That's an 8 against a grade B. And St. Louis is playing the infield back, and they are a column 2 defensive team. And Gibson is a B pitcher, so here's the result: fly out to center field, sacrifice fly. Scoring Blauser and putting the Braves up 1-0. Now Ryan Klesko. 63 is a fly ball to Kurt Flood in center field. That'll be the third out. We go to the top of the second. Atlanta 1, St. Louis 0. Julian Javier will lead off for the Cardinals, followed by Roger Maris and Mike Shannon. Here's the pitch to Javier. 46 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 down. Roger Maris, who came to St. Louis from the New York Yankees, was toward the end of his career, wasn't as productive with the Cardinals as he was with the Yankees. 51 is a 9 on a grade A pitcher. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. Maris is out 6-3. Mike Shannon. Mike Shannon was from St. Louis, a very popular player in St. Louis. Here's a pitch to current Cardinal broadcaster Mike Shannon. 21 is a fly ball to right field. David Justice has it measured and makes the catch. The Cardinals go 1-2-3 in the second. Go to the bottom of the second. Braves 1, Cards 0. Very productive hitting catcher Javi Lopez will lead off the bottom of the second inning for Atlanta. 16's the roll. 28 is the ground out to the shortstop, Del Maxwell. Makes the catch and throws over to Cepeda for the first out. Mark Lemke. 61 is also a ground out to Maxwell. 2 away. And no DH in this game, as Greg Maddox is the batter. 35 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Braves. We go to the top of the third. Atlanta 1, St. Louis 0. Del Maxwell will lead off for the Cardinals. Very light hitting shortstop, but a very good defensive shortstop, winning several Gold Gloves. Probably the best defensive shortstop in the years that he played. Here's the pitch to Maxwell. 1-1 is a roll. That's a hit column roll. He's going to show me up. Here's the roll. 1-6 is a single. Okay, it's a single for Maxwell. He is a fast runner at first. Kirk Gibson, not Kurt, but Bob Gibson, a 204 lifetime hitting pitcher. Quite a few 13s on his card, so I'm not going to hit and run. And I don't want to bunt. I think we'll let him swing away. Here's the pitch to Gibson. 42. It's a swing and miss, strike 3. So it's first out. And Lou Brock. 56 is a strikeout. So first time through the lineup, Cardinals have only 2 base runners. Kurt Flood, 56, is a pop-up to the shortstop. Caught by Jeff Blauser. Cardinals are retired in the third. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Atlanta. Top of the order, and Marquise Grissom leads off for the Braves. 31 is going to be a base on balls. That is the second walk given up by Gibson, plus a hit batter. And the Braves will start off the third with speed on the first base. Jeff Blauser. 31's on only 2 columns. Not too many strikeouts. I think we'll go ahead and try to hit and run. There's a pitch to Blauser. 16. That is a 28. That would be a ground ball to Del Maxwell at shortstop, but we'll get Grissom the second. Blauser is retired 6-3 for the first out of the bottom of the third. Here is Chipper Jones. Okay, Chipper Jones walked his first time up. Here's the pitch. 56 is a pop-up to Julian Javier at second base, who makes the catch. There are two down. Fred McGriff. 21 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. That's the second strikeout for Bob Gibson. We go to the top of the fourth. Braves 1, Cardinals nothing. Okay, Orlando Cepeda will lead off the fourth. 325 hitter, 25 home runs. And okay, here's the roll. 56 is a pop fly to the shortstop. Cepeda is retired. Tim McCarver. Tim McCarver was the favorite catcher of Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton, and once said that they would be buried 60 feet 6 inches apart. Here's the pitch to McCarver. 22 is a single. He is a fast-rated runner. And with one out, he's at first base. Carver could run. He hit 13 triples to lead the league in I think 68, one of those years. He led the league in triples. Here's Julian Javier, Cardinal second baseman. Struck out his first time out. Here's the pitch from Maddox. It's a 54 was the roll. That's a fly ball to right field. David Justice has it measured and makes the catch. Roger Maris. Resident of Raytown. There's a roll. It's a hit column roll. Started to say he's lives in Raytown, Missouri, Kansas City. 31 is going to be a 2 off. Now, when you have a hit column roll, you read the D column. That's a triple along the right field line. That will score McCarver and get the Cardinals on the board. Game is tied 1-1. Mike Shannon's the batter. With 2 away, infield's be playing back. There's the windup and the pitch to Mike Shannon. 43 is a soft ground ball back to the pitcher Maddox. Throws over the first, and the Cardinals are retired. But they tie the score in the fourth. It's 1-1. David Justice will lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Braves. Here's the pitch to David Justice. 61 is a fly ball to Roger Maris in right field. First out. Ryan Klesko. Ryan Klesko was the first major leaguer in baseball history to hit 3 homers in the World Series on the road. He did that in 1995. Pitch to Klesko, 34 is the roll. Fly ball to center field. Kurt Flood has it measured. Makes the catch. Javi Lopez. 33 is a 5. That's going to be a double over first base. Lopez will settle in second base with 2 outs for Mark Lemke. Mark Lemke. The pitch to Lemke is a 33 also. That's going to be a single to right, scoring Lopez. And right away, the Braves regain the lead 2-1. Greg Maddox. That is a 41 roll. That's a ground ball to Mike Shannon at third base. Throws over the first. That's the end of the inning. We go to the top of the fifth. Atlanta 2, St. Louis 1. Del Maxwell will lead off the top of the fifth for St. Louis. 51 is a 9. That's going to be a ground out to the Atlanta shortstop, Jeff Blauser. 1 down. If you want to call him Kurt Gibson, Bob Gibson. 41 is a strikeout. And back to the top of the order, Lou Brock. When Lou Brock came to the Cardinals in 1964, he was traded for a very popular 20-game winner, Ernie Broglio of St. Louis. Of course, everybody knows that trade didn't work out for the Cubs. It worked out for the Cardinals. But his first time up, Brock swung wildly at 3 pitches and struck out. And somebody on the bench mentioned, well, next we'll probably trade Bill White for 2 broken baseball bats. But Brock got with the St. Louis management, and they encouraged him to change his game and become a base stealer that he was. And, of course, he was a great base stealer, overcoming Ty Cobb's record, lifetime record, and also at his time he set the yearly record of the 118 steals, I think in 1974. So Brock did change his game, and what a year he had in 1964 for St. Louis, hitting around 340. Here's the pitch to Lou Brock. 41 is a 28. That is ground out to the shortstop. 6-3. That's the end of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 5th. Go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Atlanta. Marquise Grissom at the top of the order. He walked his last time up. 6-6 roll. That's a hit column roll. 1-5 is a drive. It might be. It could be. It is out of here for a home run. And Marquise Grissom extends the Braves lead to 3-1 here in the 5th. Jeff Blauser, 34, is a fly ball to center field. Kurt Flood has it measured. Makes the catch. Chipper Jones, 41, is a ground out to Del Maxwell at shortstop. Very sure-handed Maxwell has it. Throws over to Cepeda. 2 down. Fred McGriff, 35, is a walk. He's 1 for 2, and the second time he's been on base. Dave Justice, 22, is an 8 against a B pitcher. That's going to be a ground out to Mike Shannon at third base. We go to the top of the 6th. It's now Atlanta 3, St. Louis 1. Kurt Flood will lead off for the Cardinals. Top of the 6th. 41 is the roll. That is a ball hit on the ground toward Jeff Blauser. Goes over to first. Very fast. Kurt Flood is first out. Orlando Cepeda, 24. It's a swing and a miss for strike 3. That's Maddox's 4th strikeout in the game. That's against 1 walk. Here is okay. That brings up Tim McCarver. There's the pitch to McCarver. 31 is a 9. That's going to be ground out to the shortstop, Jeff Blauser. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Braves 3, Cardinals 1. Ryan Klesko leads off for the Braves. 35 is a base hit for Ryan Klesko. He's 1 for 3. Javier Lopez, 24, is a strikeout. And Mark Lemke, 1-4, is a fly ball to Lou Brock in left field for his second out. And now the pitcher, Greg Maddux. 42 is a strikeout. We go to the top of the 7th. Braves 3, Cards 1. Okay, Julian Javier, the second baseman for the Cardinals, wore glasses. Typically, he was about a 280 hitter. Here's the pitch. 6-6 roll. That's a hit column roll for Javier. 64 is a 4. That's going to be a double over third base. And the Cardinals will start the 7th with fast runner on its second base. Brings up the tying run. Potential tying run in Roger Maris. You always thought it kind of looked weird in a Cardinal uniform. And here's the pitch. 45 is a ZZ. That's going to be a still base on balls. So now first and second, there's nobody out. Mike Shannon's the batter. He was a clutch hitter. That's one of the reasons why he was popular in St. Louis. First and second. He's going to swing away. Here's the pitch from Maddox. 44 is an 8. That's going to be a ground out to third base, but the runners will advance. Shannon's out 5-3, but now the tying run's on second base. Del Maxwell's a scheduled hitter, timeout. Okay, Bobby Tolan will pitch hit for Del Maxwell. 253 hitter, 6 homers. Here's the pitch to Tolan. 1-5 is a 11 against the AC pitcher. That is going to be a single left. There's one out. Let's see. Bears advance one base. And he can steal second on the next pitch. So we got first and third. It's 2-3. Okay, Maris is at third, but more importantly, Bobby Tolan is at first. There's going to be a pitch. There's not going to be a pitch hitter. I think Gibson's going to go. Let me think about that one. Timeout. Okay, there will be a pitch hitter for Bob Gibson. That's Dave Ricketts, 273 hitter. But before that happens, Bobby Tolan's going to try to steal against a 7 catcher. He'll be safe. 21-66. There goes Tolan. 43, he is safe. And the Cardinals now have runners at second and third with one out. Dave Ricketts is the batter. Okay, second and third. Maddox is the Braves are gonna play the infield in, and they're gonna pitch to Ricketts before because he's got Brock and Flood on deck. Here's the pitch to Ricketts. 35 is a 9. That's going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher, and with the infield in, the runners will not be able to advance. So Ricketts is out. 1-3 for the second out. Top of the order. And Lou Brock. Infield's playing back. Here's the pitch to Brock. 54 is a fly ball to David Justice and right. Ball's caught, and the Cardinals' threat is stopped, but they did score. And the score is now Atlanta 3, St. Louis 2. Okay, going into the bottom of the 7th inning, we have some changes on the St. Louis side. Phil Gagliano will go in to play shortstop for St. Louis. And Joe Horner is a new pitcher. He is a grade B pitcher with X modifier. Okay, retabulating the Cardinals defense, they are 36 now, so there's still a column 2 defense. Marquise Grissom will lead off the bottom of the 7th for the Braves. 42 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3, and here's Jeff Blauser. Blauser is 0 for 2. 32 is a ground out to second base. Julian Javier makes the catch, throws over to Cepeda. There are 2 down. Chipper Jones. And Chipper is 0 for 2. 64 is a strikeout. We go to the top of the 8th. Braves 3, Cards 2. Kind of feel like the momentum in this game has shifted over to the Cardinals side, but you still got Greg Maddux on the mound. He's a Hall of Famer. Here's the pitch to Curt Flood. 32 is a ground ball to second base. Flood's the first out. 4-3. Here's the 1967 MVP from the National League, Orlando Cepeda. 24 is the roll. He strikes out. That's the 6th strikeout for Greg Maddux. And Tim McCarver. 63 is a fly ball to Marquise Grissom in center field. It's caught, and the Cardinals are retired in the 8th. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Braves 3, Cards 2. Fred McGriff is set to lead off for Atlanta. In basic APBA, there's what I use for home pitcher fatigue rules. I go 7 innings for the Braves pitchers or any starting pitcher, and when 2 bad things happen to them in the 7th inning or later, I reduce their grade by 1 level. That's just home rules. APBA on their download site has a pitcher fatigue chart that you can go by, because now their new cards are putting after the pitcher's line, they put another parenthesis with batters faced, and that chart works off of that for the pitcher's fatigue. But that's my home rule. I go 7 innings. Relievers go 2 innings. When using the relief hitters, 2 bad things happen, their grade goes down 1. Here's the pitch to McGriff. 46 is a strikeout for Fred McGriff. 1 down. David Justice. 36 is a walk. Justice is at first with 1 out, average speed, and Ryan Klesko is the batter. Joe Horner winds and pitches. 46 is a strikeout. 2 away. And Javier Lopez, very dangerous hitter as a catcher. 1-5 is a 8 against a B. That's going to be a ground out to Mike Shannon, third base. The Braves are retired. Now we go to the top of the 9th. Atlanta 3, St. Louis 2. And Greg Maddux returns to the mound. He has not had anything bad happen since the 7th inning. He had a walk. That's all. He's not fatigued. Here was a pitch to Javier. 1-2 is a 25. That's going to be a hit on the ground. No, it's not. It's an X. So there's an X modifier. He is a strikeout. That's the first out. The Cardinals are down to the last 2 outs, and they will be eliminated in this one-and-done tournament. Here's Roger Maris. 51 is a 9. That's going to be a ground out to the shortstop, Jeff Blauser. And just one more man for Maddux to retire. That will be Mike Shannon. Here's the pitch. 51, that's also a 9. That's also a ground out to Jeff Blauser. And the Cardinals are defeated. Final score, Braves 3, Cardinals 2. We'll be back with a wrap-up. Okay, in this first one-and-done tournament game, the St. Louis Cardinals are done, defeated by the 1995 Atlanta Braves. The Cardinals, 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The Braves scored 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The winning pitcher was Greg Maddux. Pitched 9 innings, gave up 2 runs, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Bob Gibson is the losing pitcher, and I haven't done his figures yet. The star of the game is Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux was as you know, a terrific pitcher. 19-2, 1.5, I think 1.56 ERA, and 19, or maybe it was 1.63. Hold on just a second. Yeah, 1.63 earned run average in 1995. One thing a lot of people don't remember about him, he was a terrific fielder as a pitcher. He had 10 gold gloves. So when you think of great fielding pitchers, there's two, Jim Cott and Greg Maddux. Only Cott had more gold gloves than Greg Maddux. But Greg Maddux, who didn't throw the ball over 86, 87 miles per hour, believed in pinpoint control and movement. And when I used to coach baseball on the high school level in California, and I always told pitchers that of the three elements in your game, movement on your pitches and location of your pitches trump velocity. Velocity is important, but I think it's important behind location of the pitch and behind movement on the pitch. Movement is huge, and that's what Greg Maddux had. He can make that ball move, and he could throw it exactly where he wanted to every time. So Greg Maddux has the Dodgers moving on. Tomorrow's game, we will see the 1953 Brooklyn Dodgers take on the 2012 Washington Nationals in Game 2 of this one-and-done tournament. Thanks for joining me, and have a good day.